For today's video, I'm gonna tear down this water cooler. Actually, it's got a hot water tab, doesn't it? So this guy's probably gonna have a heater in there as well. I don't know if I've actually torn down one with a heater. This one was empty. There wasn't any gas in it. In my experience, refrigerators and these things have very little gas. Sometimes that's why they're thrown away, because they're out of gas. So I took my chances with this one. I haven't done this in a while, but I just played a feeling, and I snipped the copper tube, and it went. This is what it sounded like. It went. That's how much was in there. Probably just whatever was right there. So that's illegal. So I can't recommend you do this, but it's kind of a common theme with scrapping. Come across some of the stuff that's toxic, you know. Well, isn't it the manufacturers? Aren't they the ones that should be responsible? Shouldn't they have a place where you can take this stuff and get it drained for free or something? Or even for a few dollars, you know? Isn't there some kind of responsibility out there for the people that make toxic items? Anyways, because this is one way or the other, this is going to get busted apart, whether it sits in a landfill for 5,000 years or in the back of the truck when it smashes it, you know what I mean? Or when they dump it out in the landfill and it hits the concrete, if they got a sorting floor or whatever, it's liable to pop open on its own. But in 10 million years in a landfill, that's probably coming open on its own. The cooler should be wrapped in a real nice copper pipe, so that's what we're after here, right? This copper tubing. It's good stuff. Tire poppers. Keep track of those for sure. So I was looking for a date on here because there's the toxic gases like Freon, and there was a certain date in the United States anyways where they're supposed to use a gas called Puron. Anything manufactured after a certain date. I can't remember exactly what the date was, but I was looking for a date on here, and there's no date listed, right? Because that makes a lot of sense. Try to determine whether something's illegal or not, you know, by a date, and there's no date on there. Wait, what does this say? Well, it says serial number 2005, and then it's got a little row of numbers. I bet that 2005 signifies it was made in 2005. So I think that's before the Puron mandate, I do believe. Anyways, I didn't notice that the first time. It looks like the year is built right into the serial number, 2005. That's an assumption, but anyways. And I'm not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure if it's legal to bust open ones with Puron, a safe gas. So check that out, Google that, check it out stuff. You know what? Shoot, I don't see any copper pipes on here. Oh no, did they go super cheap on us? Let's see. Cheaper than what I was expecting was like I was expecting about a half-inch tubing all the way around the entire thing, or a good part of it, but they just got, look at the little piece. Come on, man, that green stuff there is corroded copper. That's a number 2 copper. It looks like there's about a pound there. I was expecting a lot more than that, folks. I was expecting a lot more than that. Let's get you a look at the copper cooler so I can show on camera that it is indeed, it is copper. Come on, man. There you go. Well, they got glue on there. You can see the copper color right there. See it? Huh. see, the predicament, the scrappers predicament, the scrappers, what's a good word? Quandary, the scrappers paradoxes. There's so many goodies in refrigerators and air conditioners. There's so much good copper and aluminum copper radiators and stuff. I know, across the world, every day, probably every minute, it's going snips, snips, snips. Right, it's probably a continuous. If we knew about everyone that was being done across the world, it's probably non-stop. Probably non-stop. These pipes getting snipped, and this gas going. Right, somewhere in the world right now, somewhere it's going. And it's probably doing it every second, every day, right, for the next century. Okay, so let's get back to this. A couple more screws here. Let's just skip the screw part. Some scrap yards might just give you a clean compressor for that. If not, these are real easy to get off here. There's usually a couple of different kinds of builds to these. This is the little clips on here. So on a refrigerator, these compressors are an amazing, surprising amount of the weight that come on a refrigerator. Refrigerators are basically a big thing of insulation like that, wrapped in tin, and then they got a super heavy compressor on the bottom of them. That's probably, I don't know, half. I haven't actually weighed it. Half, 70% of the weight of a refrigerator is probably in those guys. So I used to take those all the time off the back of refrigerators. Some scrap yards might make you open them up. If you really want to, if you got a shop and you're set up to do it, you can open that up, and there's an electric motor inside there as well. But compressors, I think, should be about 15 cents a pound. So, you know, if I open that up and get the motor out, the motor's only 25 cents a pound. And then all that steel goes down to 7 cents to 11 cents, 10 cents. So I don't know if you're just totally wasting your time. I suppose if there's a lot of copper in a motor, you can continue to break it down and get the copper out as well. And then the copper's worth like $3 a pound. But then all the steel in the copper motor goes from 25 cents a pound down to 10 cents a pound, or 7 cents a pound for tin, however they're going to classify it at your scrapyard. So it could just be a total waste of time. Or you could gain a few dollars, you know, if you got a system to do it lickety split, you know, and you want to make 50 cents to $1, whatever your gain is, you know, it's your prerogative. But don't let people tell you on YouTube or anywhere that you're gonna make an amazing amount of money cleaning such and such scrap. Sometimes you can. Like the copper coming out here is worth it. The aluminum copper radiators out of air conditioners is worth it. But lots of times when it comes to motors, you're basically just kind of spinning your wheels, unless it's a motor, a big one that's going to have, you know, several pounds of copper, 30, 40, 50 pounds of copper, you know, 5, 10 pounds of copper. That's a different story. Huh. Huh. I was not expecting that to be magnetic. That's a low-grade stainless steel. Huh. Interesting. The pipe is a high-grade stainless steel. Because you got to pipe your water through high-grade stainless steel to let it sit in the low-grade stainless steel, right? Huh. It's got these tack welds on each side. See, every row of that tube has a slight weld to the tube next to it. See how that's working? I thought at first it might have been somehow welded to the container, but it's not. They're just welded to each other, so that's gonna be fun. I wonder if I can slide that. Ah, shoot, I already crushed it. I wonder if I can slide that off there. Alrighty, so you see what's going on. I'm gonna turn the camera off and go after that. That is built a little differently than what I was expecting, but now that I'm in here, I'm gonna get my $3.20. Maybe more, maybe more. We'll see what it weighs. Okay, let's get a tally on what we're doing. You know what? I should have seen what the weight was when I first started. So I could have taken that whole thing to the scrapyard by itself for 7 cents a pound or 6 cents a pound. Oops, I'm leaking oil. That's not good. That's probably 15, maybe 15, 10 to 15, 12, 15, and let's see, 20 or so. So I've never actually seen one of these heaters before. Of course, the heater is the one that's actually an aluminum, non-magnetic. I was gonna say there's no use in going after that because it's gonna be a tin, but this guy's just full of surprises. Not the way I was thinking it was gonna go. So I might be able just to get aluminum breakage for it the way it is. Take off that piece of plastic, but there's not a whole lot of value there. That's a strange. That must be surface rust, or a kind of a colored water. Unless the top of it is magnetic. No, that rust shouldn't be on that. That must be rusted water that came off of something else, which I can't picture what it was. There, looks like it's like, maybe it's not rust. Some kind of nasty water. Coffee, maybe, I don't know. Maybe someone spilled some coffee. Maybe someone spilled some coffee or something. on the top of it, and it leaked down, and that's like a coffee or a cocoa. I think someone spilled their hot cocoa. Now we got it figured out. Stainless steel and aluminum does not rust. There shouldn't be rust on it. So that's a piece of aluminum with rust on it, but it's actually cocoa. It has been solved. Okay, so I got tin shred. I'm gonna say 4 pounds of tin shred there. Let's just throw this in the tin shred for now. That way I can leave the plastic on it. 5, 6, 7 pounds of tin shred. 49 cents. 42 cents. I think it's down to 6. 42 cents on that. This guy at 15 cents a pound. At 10 pounds would be $1.50. Throw in another. Let's call it 15. 7, 225. So let's round off, make it easy. 225 and 40, 265. Let's see, let's call it 270. Make it easy on us. Here's another pound of tin shred. 276. 276. This isn't really worth anything. Say 10 cents. 286. It's not enough to weigh by itself. And then this is the big question here. Is this 1 or 2 pounds? All right, is this 1 or 2 pounds? Is this $3.20 or $7 and $6.40, whatever that is. $3.20 or $6.40. Guy's got some weight. Some yards might have a different category for those, but number 2 copper pipe here should go all together. I don't think it's gonna be 2 pounds. We're just gonna have to claim claim 1 pound on that. It might be a pound and a few ounces. So let's call it 350. Where were we? 286 and 3 is 586 and 20 is 606. And then we've got a little bit of non-magnetic material here. I think that's stainless, and these are aluminum. So that's probably, let's say 4 cents. $6.10 altogether. $6.10 altogether. And what I say the weight was, a pound. 16 pounds. And 23 pounds. 24 pounds. 24 pounds times 6 cents. $1.44. So in one single piece, this tin shred, it would have been about $1.24 if I just threw that thing in my tin shred pile. $1.24 was its value. This isn't perfect. It's close, really close. And the work you saw me do here, turn it into a tin shred category, a compressor category. That will just go in with my aluminum and stainless at a future date. But that's a category, copper category. Let's say a copper category. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 categories. $6.10. So not quite $5. Not quite $5. And one thing I'm gonna do for sure before I start kicking stuff around, I want to get all these little tire poppers out the road. That's what a good strong magnet will do for you. It's always a pleasure to do that. Okay, I didn't mean to spill the oil. Please don't give me a $1,000 ticket. All right, so I'm gonna take this to the scrapyard. I'm gonna make this my next video. I'm gonna take in a few loads of scrap that I have built up here. My next video I publish, I'll take this to the scrapyard, and along with some other stuff. And I sure hope you enjoyed this. That's not a bad, you know, over $4. If I wasn't fumbling with the camera and I ran into a different build on some of this, that was supposed to be a pound of stainless steel right there. So that cost us about 40 cents. So once I knew what I was doing, I could probably do that in about 5 minutes. A little over a $4 gain. Just say round off 5 minutes, $4 gain. $4 in 5 minutes. Doesn't sound like much, but that's $48 an hour. The first time through, of course, it's going to take me longer, but once you know what you're doing and you get accustomed to it, ripping those down. $48 an hour, folks, huh? It seemed kind of lame and feeble until I just spouted out the numbers, huh? $48 an hour. Now all you need to do is find 12 of those and line them up and do them in an hour. But I sure hope you enjoyed this little tidbit. As always, thanks for watching. Oh, you know what? That would have went as tin shed as well at 6 cents a pound. So there's probably 3 pounds of stuff there. So subtract 18 cents from everything I just said.